What's up? We are past the pop culture. My name is Ricky with my co-host here, Mrphen.
Hello.
And today we got a couple things to talk about. We're going to talk about The Last of Us episode 2. Spoilers, of course, going along with that. But it's a good spoiler right now. I'm going to give you guys. It was a good episode. We got some other stuff to talk about. Netflix being Netflix, kind of just going down this dumb road. They just could not let go of the passwords sharing, right? Like they should just let it go. They're going to start rolling out the ads as well, which is completely the opposite of what Netflix should do. But Kevin Feige also giving his take on why comic book movies are not going to be tiring for the audience, right? So people are going to keep watching them. That's what he thinks, right? Even though pretty much everyone is now saying we're getting a little tired, he still thinks everyone's going to watch it. And yeah, so we got a couple things to go through. I guess we can just talk about The Last of Us too, just going in right at it. But so we were skeptical, of course, right? Still at the end of the first episode, because we were like, well, it still could be bad. It could still happen. But second episode was pretty good. I don't know. I really like the beginning, how they're doing that again, where it's like, and I mentioned on the first episode, where it's like little backstory, right? Kind of like ideas surrounding before the apocalypse happened, right? Like leading up to it, like we get to see little details, right? It's really cool how they're doing that. I enjoy that a lot. But so there is a huge thing that happened, saying that in HBO history, right? It had the largest percentage viewership increase over premiere in HBO history, right? So episode 2, the viewership rised 22%. 22%.
That's huge.
Yeah. So from the premiere to the second episode now, and people watched it, the drop. Like same thing for me. Like I was like, oh, my dad was like, hey, when do you want to have dinner? I'm like, when does episode 2 drop? 6 o'clock. All right, we'll watch.
Same with my dad.
We'll watch it. We're having dinner. I'm like, we'll have dinner and we'll watch it. So I think everyone's kind of doing the same thing. Everyone's like waiting for it to drop, right?
My dad kept like asking all week.
Yeah. And so it's pretty cool because it's like a way for me to kind of share video games with my dad, because he doesn't really play video games here and there, even though he introduced me to video games, right? Like I played Galaga with him, Mortal Kombat, like when I was a kid. Like he introduced me to games, but he's a grown man and he doesn't have time to sit around playing Last of Us. So so he's interested, like when we're telling him stuff like, oh yeah, but that was different in the game. And they're like, whoa, what was it different or something, or it's like, we get to talk about it with him. And so it's pretty interesting because there are some changes, of course, like with the way Tess dies and just some small details, right? Like the flashlights, of course. Oh, how Tess died?
Yep.
Oh, because she basically kind of just like
made out with a zombie and then
and then flicked the little lighter and then
like,
died.
Come on, guys, it wasn't that bad. But see, like there's also people saying it's like no one's really complaining about it. It's a different take, which is fine.
Yeah, so. I mean, because like my thing was more like I felt like she kind of went out more with an oomph in the game. Right?
Yeah, true.
And so, I think I think like it didn't really matter to me too much. I think it still conveyed generally the same thing, and I understand why they change things, because it's like it's not a one-to-one translation. So I try to like enjoy it being like, oh, they changed it from this and that, and not being like they changed it. And, it's like, oh, that's interesting. And then I just
clicker.
and then relax, so guys. That was gross. I actually didn't like that scene just because it was gross. I was like, ugh. I was like eating and stuff, and I was like, I should be eating while watching this.
That's how you make out, kids.
Yes.
With fungal worms coming out of your mouth.
When a mommy clicker and a daddy clicker love each other very much. Yeah, no, that's gross, dude. That was scene. But anyway, so it's good. I like it. I enjoy it. I think in general people are enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I think it's good, especially when they're showing like the Capitol and stuff like that, and
beautiful.
Like they just basically ripped out the scenes from the game, right? Like. And when they're looking, like they just get like they're doing the cutscenes, right? And it's just like it's so satisfying to see them do the
I
cutscenes in
know,
real
I
life,
love it.
basically. Um, I think they're like cool little Easter eggs, essentially,
Hmm.
for people who play the games, of course, which is probably a good majority of the audience, but uh, nonetheless, I think it's really cool. Um, I don't know. I think it's okay right now at this point to be like, I think we're safe. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I
I
think
think
we're
so
safe.
too.
Usually,
I think so too.
usually I won't be optimistic like this, but it's like, you know what? It's because now I said this episode 3 is going to be trashed.
I was about to say
No.
that.
Usually, episode 2 you can usually tell. Episode 2, 3, if we're in the zone, we're in the zone. I don't really think they're just going to like jump ship and just ruin the story, right?
I hope not.
Um but cuz it's like I don't know how far would you say we're into the story, right? Like cuz we're definitely
So
past we're at the beginning still, but we're definitely like we're getting into the main chunk of the story
yeah,
now, right?
yeah. Because like next episode, they're introducing some characters as well, and then
Mhm.
I think even in the article it says that the season finale is supposed to be like in March. So
Okay. So
if it's every
I'm not
week,
going to do the math.
yeah, how many episodes is that? Maybe like 12, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's not a good pace, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, it does because like my brother was saying, it is a little quick, and because like I was telling him like, well, it's because usually like what are you doing like in between that, right? Like you're fighting people, and so
Yeah, hiding behind
that's the
walls.
thing. Like I've noticed like in this one in this adaptation, there's a lot less like fighting, right?
Yeah,
But I think it helps because when they finally face the clickers, like my dad was like, man, those things are tough, like to kill. I'm like, yeah,
Yep.
and I was explaining in the game like what you had to do because it is difficult to
Hmm.
fight the clickers. But like, if the whole episode was him just like "Zgah, boom, boom," like
Crouch
shooting all the
walking
clickers, like
everywhere.
yeah, it probably will. Yeah, and like it probably wouldn't lead to like a very good impactful fight scene like that.
Yeah.
Uh, because we're just viewing it, right? In the game, it's difficult, right? Like, cause
Hmm.
yeah, you are like, shooting things and, but you're doing it yourself. So it's like, it's
Yeah.
kind of like skill based versus like watching the movie, you're just consuming it. So if all he's doing is just beating things up and it's like, okay, well, the clickers and the runners and all that, they don't feel like threats. So I
Yeah.
think this is the reason why they've chosen to kind of scale back the amount of fights that are happening, right?
Yeah.
Which is okay by me.
I agree.
It keeps things suspenseful so far. But yeah, so far really good on Last of Us. I'm surprised that we've actually gotten a decent adaptation so far.
So far.
So I'm very happy though. Um, I guess to talk about another streaming service, we'll talk about Netflix. Now, I'm patting HBO on the back. HBO still has I still have some concerns for it, but Netflix committing a great sin.
Stupid.
They are cracking down on the password savings, which I think everyone's just gonna leave. Everyone's just gonna
Yeah.
leave.
It's kind of stupid. I don't like. I understand like if it's like let's say me, like I give it to I don't know like or some random friend like that doesn't live with me or whatever. Like that kind of makes sense. But it's like if my sister has it, like why can't she have it? We're literally family. We just live like apart. Like I don't understand the problem with that. But
Yes, but look what they're saying though, right?
yeah, I know it's.
Like, so this comes from the company's last earning report, right? So the streaming platform said that more than 100 million homes currently share passwords. This undermines the company's ability to invest and improve
It's so stupid.
the service. Netflix said password sharing also hurts Netflix's ability to build their business.
So stupid. Oh, instead of making $1 billion, they're making 999 whatever million.
Million, yeah. It's
It's like,
just
come on, guys, get over yourself.
I
Like,
think yeah, like they're getting a little greedy on this, and I think people are just gonna leave. I've left right after the
yeah,
hike. I know a lot of people talking to them personally. They're like, "No, it just became too expensive, and I don't want the ads."
yeah,
So, I think that's pretty much what people are doing. People are just leaving Netflix. I think they're digging their own grave here. Uh, their I don't know their insistence, I guess, on the whole password crackdown. I mean, people get Netflix because they can just share it with their friends, right? Like,
yeah.
if they're not, no one's gonna want to pay for it individually, so then they're probably just gonna
Hmm.
lose a good amount.
Yep.
Sure, they're gonna make money. They'll probably make a little bit more in the short term, but I guess the amount of people that are gonna have Netflix, they're just gonna be driven away. They're just gonna be like, no, or they're gonna skip a month, right? Like it's
Well,
not
like
gonna be
yeah,
consistent. I feel like this is just gut feeling really. But I just feel like this is not really the best model to go with because less people have Netflix, less people are going to be talking about their
hmm
shows, right? The less popular the shows get, the less people are going to want to get like people get like Netflix for like Stranger Things, right? Like
yeah, and some
Wednesday,
good
right? But
movies.
if
Yeah,
there's less people watching it, even though they're making more money, less people are watching it, less talk about it, less organic growth, and I think they're
exactly.
going to be on a slow decline down. And
Good. About time they
Netflix
cancel.
starting it all, becoming, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain
Yeah.
or whatever. That's essentially what Netflix is doing here.
But
I
I
mean,
just don't understand. Like, if they know 100 million people are sharing passwords, do they automatically assume those 100 million are just gonna start paying? I'm thinking
yeah,
like 70% of those people. I'm like, yeah, no, never mind. So it's like, wouldn't you just want? I don't know. Why not just keep them? Like you said, it's word of mouth, and now people are gonna start saying, why would I want Netflix if I can have HBO Max and share like 5 accounts or 6 accounts or Hulu or even Apple Pay or whatever. Apple, what is it? Apple Plus.
Apple TV, I think.
Yeah, whatever. It's like there's good shows and everything else, and then it's like, oh yeah, you can, we don't care about the passwords, and it's just like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, Netflix is
it's
stupid.
just annoying to deal with. I think it's like the way they're probably gonna enforce it's just gonna be annoying, and it's just gonna drive people away. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing Netflix is doing. I don't know what they're on, but also I don't know what Kevin Feige's on. Right? He's talking about, oh yeah, no one's gonna get tired, and he's like, because he was comparing like comic book
With
movies to like
novels,
novel adaptations. They're like, oh, a novel can be anything, but it's like Marvel's not adapting like
anything.
novels or comic books that are
Exactly.
like
Yep.
from other genres and stuff. It's all the same superhero stuff. You're making
Yep.
superhero movies. Yes, they're comic book movies, but the genre of comic book is superhero. So it's a little different, right? I don't know. I think it's a little optimistic. It is on his side, but uh they're still, raking in billions of dollars. I don't think they really care. Uh I just feel like it kind of makes me worried because then I feel like he's like, "Oh, people won't get tired." I feel like he's kind of become complicit. You know what I mean? Like he's like, "Oh no, like
Okay.
we're
Yeah.
gonna keep making money. It doesn't matter." So then I feel like maybe that's why we've seen this lack of quality now, right? Where
Okay.
it's just
Okay.
like, eh, it's gonna make money. We're gonna make our money back. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter,
Just poop them out.
right? So I think that's why like we've kind of seen this whole like shift, right? That's going
Yeah.
on, and it's just kind of lame. It just is, right? Like, I mean, we'll see how Ant-Man and the Wasp. They're gonna kick off what phase 5, right?
Phase 5. Yep.
So we'll see how it goes, right? But I don't know. It just kind of has me a little suspicious, like what
There's
Kevin
no hype
Feige's really
anymore.
doing back there.
I think no more hype. It's just
Yeah,
like,
there's really
we
not
guess we'll
hype
watch it.
on the new Marvel movies coming out. There really
hmm
isn't hype, right? Um,
It sucks,
yeah. I
but
mean, Spider-Man
it's
was
gone.
pretty hype, but
Who cares
I
about Ant
mean,
Man? Sorry. Well,
yeah. I thought you liked that, man.
I do.
The second the second one came out and it was like, oh, never mind.
It's just again, I'm a Marvel hater, but every time I hear the word Marvel and insert superhero, I'm just like, I guess I'll watch it because I like watching movies, but that's about it. It's not like again, DC super fan. If they say, oh yeah, Aquaman's coming out, I'm like, all right, I'm there, boom. But
Mhm.
that's because we only get him like once every 5,000 years. But Marvel is every other
Yeah,
month, so it's like, and it's been trash, She Hulk and everything else. I don't know. I
man.
I, I
But
have I have low hopes.
with that Invincible trailer though,
Did
I
you
was
see it?
like,
That
nice.
was pretty. I like
That
that.
was pretty good. I
I said, "What's the whole
I don't know
point
how
of
to word
this?"
it.
And then he asked, "Oh, so like when you coming back?" And then I'm like, "Ah, there we go." It was like, how long
Yeah,
was it? Like 5 minutes, and it's like, perfect. But I was hooked.
yeah. It was pretty interesting, but it just I don't know. Late 2023. I feel like oof. Like I get it. It's animation and stuff. I
hmm
get it. I want it to be quality, so I'm willing to wait. But I'm
hmm
like, it's been so long, dude. Like
When did it come
They
out?
should like
2 years
it
ago?
just yeah. Let me see.
Oh,
And
you're gonna Google it.
let me see.
But see, it's like it is
Yeah,
worth the wait, to be honest.
it came out 2021, so it's been 2 years.
2021.
Yeah,
I think like last year just didn't exist.
yeah,
Wow. Okay. Then yeah, it has to come back. I need it.
yeah. So
It's pretty
it's
good.
kind of hypey. I did like it. I was tempted to kind of pick up the comic, but I'm like,
Well,
I
apparently
want
it's
to
like a
see
very
that.
faithful adaptation of the comics. So
Yeah.
spoilers.
So we'll see though, right? Season 1 was good. I'm hyped. The trailer, right? Uh, basically just a little skit and was like, oh yeah, late 2023. Oh, okay, and that's what we got, right?
But see, this is
Nothing too
superheroes
fancy.
though.
It is
Hmm.
superheroes. That is the thing. But I'm willing to. I guess I think it's just a little different, right? Like, because when I watch like a live action superhero versus like something animated, I think it's a little bit different for me.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I think I put that little bit of like distinction.
You can detach.
Yeah. 'Cause I
Yeah,
feel
that
like
makes
live
sense.
action's different than animated, in terms of like the kind of movie you end up getting at the end of the day. But yeah. So for anybody who hasn't heard, Invincible season 2 coming out late 2023.
Poggers. Cross your
Yeah.
fingers and toes.
And then Fen, you can handle the last little
Um,
tidbit here.
I still haven't seen Avatar, but
That's why
uh
I wanted you to handle it.
but Zoe, whatever her name is, Saldana, Gamora. I found it kind of interesting though because she's been in 4 movies that made over $2 billion.
Hmm.
But does it? Uh, I'm not gonna. Okay, I'm not gonna discredit her, but does it really count? Like, I guess Avatar, she is more of a main character, but in the
She's the main
Avengers,
character in Avatar.
yeah,
But
but
it's
like
like, yeah,
Avengers and
I know
stuff,
what you
it's like.
mean. Like, yeah.
But I'm not trying to discredit her. She is good, and everything she's done is pretty darn good. But it's like Avatar, fine. I won't contest that. But like Avatar, I mean, Endgame and all that, where she's literally, you know, sleeping with the
It's a side
fishes.
character. But she was in it. That's more than what we can say, I guess.
That's true, I guess. But that's like, never mind. Okay, yeah. Just a heads up. She's the only actor to make 4 movies worth over $2 billion, and that's impressive. So
And then Star Trek. She's in Star Trek.
that's true.
Man, I thought we don't talk about the Star Trek movies.
Apparently, there's quite a few people that actually think they're okay. They prefer those over Star Wars, and I just laugh at them and
Dude, I
discredit
don't
them
even
as a
remember
human.
the Star Trek. I don't even remember the Star Trek movies, dude. I'm not like a huge Star Trek guy either,
Me
so
neither.
but
I think there's
it's
3 of
like
them.
I've seen some of the old like episodes here and there, but I'm not like super into it, so it was just kind of interesting. I remember when like that stuff came out and everyone was pretty upset about it, so uh
Yeah, those were.
I don't know. I don't really have any recollection of the movies. Like
Me
Held at
neither.
Gunpoint, I couldn't tell you like what the plots were or anything.
I
So
don't even remember who was in it. Well, I guess her,
I
but
I mean, yeah, like that's why I was like, wait, she was in that? That's why I was like, I forgot. Like I don't remember Star Trek, but yeah,
uh,
but it is interesting. Yeah,
it's
so
cool. I
she's
respect it,
yep, made a lot of money probably.
but
So
still
good on
haven't
her.
seen Avatar.
I don't think we'll end up seeing Avatar 2. I want to see Puss in Boots more than
Honestly, same to be honest. And that and the whale.
Avatar. It did better than Avatar.
Puss in Boots?
Yeah, Avatar did worse than Puss in Boots.
No shot.
Yep.
Wow. 2 billion,
So
huh?
yeah,
Maybe that's just James Cameron watching. He
that's why
bought
animation's
theaters.
superior. But the thing is like Puss in Boots did better, but like everyone who saw Puss in Boots, like the general audience is like, oh, well, it's animated, it doesn't count, right? And then
Yes,
that's
it
why
does.
like
What?
Avatar is like, oh, look how cool Avatar is, right? It's because it's live action, it's actual actors, but like they'll give credit to that, even though Puss in Boots did better over there, right? But because Puss in Boots is animated, they're gonna probably give it like, well, it's a kids movie and this and that, so it doesn't count, right? So
Yeah, but
I don't know.
80% of the time, kids' movies are made for adults, so it's like,
Yeah, like they're also made for
really
adults, but I don't know.
interesting.
That's a whole separate podcast episode to argue about.
Yeah, true.
We'll be here stuck for another 20 minutes, so
Uh,
we got to start our streaming on
Yay.
twitch.tv/pass the pop culture, which you guys should check out. We are going to be changing the schedule up. It's going to be on Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays now, just
Mhm.
because I'm in school. So it's going to make it kind of difficult to do our old schedule. Still 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We will be going live pretty much soon, right after this. So I very much appreciate it if you guys would also leave a like and subscribe if you are listening to us on YouTube. If you're on your preferred podcast listening platform, they're usually like some sort of 5-star, thumbs up, a heart. We very much appreciate any support as well. If you want to follow us on social media, we are at Past the Pop Culture, pretty much on everything. Um, we got Twitter, TikTok, uh, Hover. We have a lot of stuff. So you'll
Everything.
probably find us. You'll
Hmm.
probably find us on the social medias. We usually let you guys know when we're live, and we'll post clips. Right, we've been posting a lot of funny clips. I'm playing 7 Days to Die a lot. I've been playing Rust. So pretty much we're just been in that survival game grind lately. So very much appreciate if you guys would drop by, hang out with us. Right, give us some questions. What do we think about, you know, some sort of DC character, or give us your opinion if you think Kevin Feige is right or wrong. Let us know in the comment sections as well, right? Are you liking The Last of Us, the TV series, right? Uh, any questions about Last of Us 2, we will abstain from. But yeah, if you want to talk about Last of Us TV show, we're so down for that. So very much appreciate if you drop by. Anyways, I think that wraps up everything, Fed.
Yep, yep.
All right, let's get to streaming. Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.